Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, family. Welcome to the Mental House with me, your illustrious host, Khadija. Hey, y'all. I want to talk about a few stories, and I want y'all opinion about, or if you heard this story, because to me this was a very disturbing. At this point, it's like, yeah, this is so disturbing that it just makes you uh just really see how corrupt that a lot of these people are that have to be removed, and it shouldn't even be a question whether they are removed or not. So I got a few more seconds and I'm gonna wait before I go in. But how is everybody doing today? Happy Valentine's Day to those of you who celebrate and love Valentine's Day. Valentine's Day, every day is Valentine's Day for me. But I want to say happy Valentine's Day, especially to those of y'all who love to get those boxes of candy and those sweet cards. And I love you, baby. I love you, and all that. Only to be at each other's throats a couple hours later. Anyway, um, one of the most sickest stories I think I can go in now. Um, and this story come right out down the road, down out of Chicago. Okay, and there's a officer by the name of James Hunt. And I think this story about James Hunt is so egregious that he's not the only one. But this is just to show you what we've been lined up against since we got here. And the behavior from the the uh, the McMichaels, the McCades, whoever that family was, I can't remember, that the recent copycat act. Um, the people that do harm to black and brown bodies really don't have a problem with it. There is an innate, ingrained behavior that comes from people who have been taught that whatever they do is okay. Because for this person to be on the police force, and let me share this with you first of all. A Chicago police officer who nearly 4 years ago bragged on camera about killing someone while taunting an innocent black man in a park has now been relieved of his duties. Of his police powers. The CBS2 investigators have learned that a move came not because of the 2018 viral incident, but because of a complaint that has just now surfaced. Officer James Hunt is seen and heard in a viral video bragging that I kill motherfuckers during his obscenity-laden rant. It happened on July 3rd, 2018. CBS2 was the first to expose Hunt's entire interaction with Kenny Lee that day. Kenneth was an innocent bystander to a police call to which Hunt responded. That's when he said, this is Hunt now. He said, this is Lee saying what Hunt said to him. I have super chat too. I said, no, you don't. And he said, yeah, I do. It's called I effed your mama. And this is a police officer talking to him like this now. Okay. That day, according to a civilian police office accountability, the COPA report, after taunting Lee in the park, Hunt even falsely arrested him too. Now, this Lee eventually won a $100,000 lawsuit settlement from the city. This is our only option, and I think this has to happen simultaneously everywhere. Um, this because this has to stop. This is how can you live under these type of restraints, under this type of structure? This infrastructure is insane. He's bragging to a person that he has the power to arrest and to give him life or death right there on the streets. Hunt's troubling track record includes 24 complaints made by civilians between July 14th and March 20th, and that's according to his records. He also self-reported using force against civilians 28 times between 2016 and 2020. During that period, he had the fifth most reports, along with three other officers. The fifth most reports. All right, the CBS investigators just discovered a new complaint filed against him, the one that led to his new desk duty assignment. Why is he still? He should be cleaning the trees if you want to keep him on duty. This guy should be actually off the force. This thinking people, we can't afford this in a civilized society. It's amazing to me that you call some countries in Africa and the people in it savages, but I don't see the police carrying guns. When you go to the Bahamas in the black country, you don't see the police officers with guns. That goes to show you just how civilized the damn society is, don't it? But all these European countries, especially the United States, let's just start there. I don't even have to name no more. Because the United States got more guns than all of them combined. Oh my goodness! It said it was that one that led to his late death duty was filed in 2020, the same week that a Minneapolis cop murdered George Floyd. In the complaint, the woman said she got caught up in a large crowd while driving downtown on May 30th, 2020. She said there was a lot of commotion. She tried to get away from the area. That's when she saw officers approaching her car. She said one of them broke her back passenger side window. There was glass flying everywhere in her car. As she got out of her car, she said that same officer began wrestling with her for her phone. She was recording the entire incident. She said she needed medical attention 3 times and was ignored before going completely numb. She ended up on the ground. She accused one of the officers of lifting her up by her head. She said she was called names such as fat and it rhymes with witch by one of the officers. Sources confirmed to CBS that the Hunt is the officer she accuses of breaking her window and lifting her up by her head and calling her names. Okay. But just this week, the CBS 2 investigators learned that Hunt was up for a new assignment. He was to report for training to become a field officer trainer. The day before his training was to start, Hunt was suddenly stripped of his police powers and reassigned to work in the evidence recovery recovered property section. Why do y'all even want this dude? Why do you want him? Because he's keeping up the old status quo, right? That's what he's doing. He keeping up the old status quo. This is some pathetic craziness right here. How you was even thinking about making this dude a trainer? You see how these devils do? See, and then they get real mad when you call them devils. And then they get mad and then try to flip everything. You a black supremacist. Tell me when you seen any black group kill white folks like this. Go after them and hunt them down or do that. Even the police officer. So we know who the aggressor is. Ain't no sense. We don't have to try to prove that point. You are projecting and trying to make me psychotic. That's why I said this whole country is built on narcissism. So when you see these people up here talking about narcissistic, and I look at them, and the first thing coming out of my mouth is, okay, so what is that saying about the country at large? Because most institutions are flying monkeys for white folk. That's what they are. You talking a kind of craziness to a group of people who's targeted as the scapegoat. So our whole realities are different. No matter how much we meditate, no matter how much we try to change the weird waves in our brain, the reality for us is that we're in an institution that targets us for death and destruction. Well, I mean, you can't choose what lot that you come in. You really can't. You can't choose, because I'm sure that's not the fate we would want for ourselves. But God only knows there must be something powerful in that. Because all over the world, you see us being hunted. And it's not one police department. It's all of them. All of them have the same mantra. These officers have the same mindset, the ones that are corrupt. So we have to have a federal mandate. It's impossible now to think we can just keep talking this one bad apple shit. That's an impossibility. We have to have a federal mandate, right? That when an officer kills somebody, okay, ain't no more it's just justified. That has to stop. And not only that, we have to, when they're killing unarmed people, we have to take their pensions away. We have to be able to sue the officers individually, not double dip and make the taxpayers have to lose their loved ones and then have to still pay taxes for the ones that killed them. This shit can't keep going on like this. Y'all see this as a string that's about to break. A rubber band that's been stretched to the highest capacity. It can't even be stretched no further. And anybody that disagree with me and challenge me on that, tell me why. Okay, here we go. The CPDs, the Chicago Police Department's field training officer application indicates this. He instructs probationary officers in the following law enforcement subject areas, which include ethics, community engagement, arrest procedures, use of force, and verbal communication, among other things. So these devils was going to put him in charge of a new class coming in so he can train them. Satan, your kingdom has got to come down. It's coming down all where you look. This is insanity. This is how they run in departments all over the country. So the good officers can't even begin begin to stand out and shine some light, because the darkness is so dark and so deep that it goes way beyond their grasp. A devil like this can be um, training other people how to behave. This is so sick. Um, the application directive indicates that candidates will be ineligible to become field training officer if they had sustained complaint investigations for misconduct that resulted in suspensions of more than 7 days during the previous 12 months, or they had 3 or more sustained complaint investigations resulting in any suspensions in the past 5 years. What happens if you don't? What happens? I mean, I guess if you suspend somebody, it must be really, really, really egregious, because really, 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 you let them do whatever the hell they want to do. Because he done violated all these. What the? Hunt did not meet the criteria for ineligibility because he has not served any suspensions recently. You feel me? So he could do whatever. He wasn't suspended though. Listen to the rules. See, Satan makes evil fair seeming. We are in a satanic society, y'all. The more we say it over and over, and stop making yourself believe it's anything other than that this is satanic rulership, I think the better off we'll be, because at least our eyes will be really, really open to the truth. Most of us get it. A vast majority of us get it. But too vast a majority of us don't. Because we keep playing right into the devil's brew. We keep continuing to be part of his ingredient, when we got to come out from this madness. However, any means necessary. This is insanity. Anyway, Cobra recommended a 365-day suspension for Kenneth Lee for the Kenneth Lee Park incident. I'm sorry, but that was back in 2019. Hunt filed a grievance and is still currently fighting that recommended disciplinary action, because somebody recommended a 360-year suspension. So he's fighting that recommended disciplinary action through arbitration. He has yet to serve any of that suspension. A ruling from the arbitration hearing is expected soon. John Cantizera, the president of the Chicago's police union, all these police unions are so powerful. You know the guy that ended up giving Jeffrey Conarac sent us some phone back to Jeffrey Dahmer? Yeah, he was the police head of the police union here. Oh, God. Look at the madness, y'all. Look at the madness. I'm trying to stay on task, y'all. I'm stopping. But it gets so disgusting. He said, John Cantizero, president of the Chicago Police Union, told the CBS News, "It's despicable that CPD stripped Hunt of his powers the day before the training was to start." Cantizera said the only reason CPD made the move was to prevent Hunt's promotion and called police administration vindictive. See what I'm saying? And that's his job, to protect these people no matter what. The dude, as an officer, gave Conarac sent us some phone. I'm talking about Milwaukee now. To Jeffrey Dahmer, gave him back to Jeffrey Dahmer, then got on his radio and made fun, talking about it was a boyfriend, girlfriend type of situation, and we're gonna go back and get D-Laws to Y'all know the rest. He went to some other department. All right, because that's what they do. They go send him to another department. Then he came back as head of the same damn police union, Milwaukee. Bradley, Nebraska, who was there when Frank Jew got beat up. His son shoots up people in a nightclub. Shoot a guy in a wheelchair. Bradley, Nebraska stealing money from the Caulkers. You think anything happened to this white man? This devil? These are devilish people with devilish behavior, and we need to call them out. If they black devils, they need to be called out. And if they white devils, it don't matter to me. Anybody that has fallen under the spell of Satan can get it. How you gonna walk around and do some shit like this and send him to another damn department? Give him a job so he can train some more savages, people that behave like a savage. Get out of here with that. Let me finish. Last year, Chicago Police Department Superintendent David Brown removed Hunt from the city's new community safety team after the CBS 2 investigators brought Hunt's history of bad behavior to his attention. The community safety team was formed in July 2020 to combat a rise in violent crime that started during the pandemic and to build trust in the community. As for COPA's recommendation for discipline for the new 2020 misconduct complaint, CPD command has had the final report for 2 months now, but the status is still pending review. See, all they do is make matters worse. It's the way they police, because they police has been evolved from slave catching. And see, when you keep beating and beating, it's like a dog. Especially if you got a big, aggressive dog, a dog that you already know shouldn't be on a leash and beat anyway. A good working dog, you already know what's going to happen. Or a big, strong terrier. What's going to happen if you keep beating him and beating him and beating him? Do you think you're going to create healthy conditions and that these dogs are going to be real nice? Or do you think they're going to run their ass up out the yard and bite some unsuspecting child or unsuspecting adult and just drag them down to the ground? That's what happens. It's just a continuous cycle of madness that they perpetuate. And then they got the nerve to come in and say, you want us to fix it? We can fix this for you. Here's a grant. And y'all, we need to quit this. Anyway, this officer, James Hunt, is his name. And he said he's killed MFs. Y'all need to stay up on this story. Because we can't afford to have him back on the streets anymore. And I said it. And it is what it is. So if you like what you hear, you please like, subscribe, and share this channel. And I will see you in the next video.